Yes, here we are. It's Friday night. That means it's time for Friday Night Live with your boys, the Decibel Geek Podcast. We always have such a good time on Friday nights. Look at there, we're already getting comments. Adam, a good friend of ours, always checks us out on Friday nights. I got Chris Sinzak with me. What's going on, brother?
Oh, not much. I'm trying to figure out which way is up. Yeah, doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and I've been looking forward to this all week long. We've got an awesome guest with us tonight, VideoBob. I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably familiar with him, especially if you're Kiss fans lately. You ought to be checking out VideoBob. We're going to have fun talking with him tonight, too. Bob, how you doing, man?
Doing great. I feel like I'm on the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch for something went terribly wrong.
Sinzak.
Yeah. Camaro. Too funny. But yeah, no, it's like it's good to be back. We took a couple of weeks off, but thanks everybody for hanging in there with us. Mover Fugger already checking in. How you doing, Shane? Good. We'll be seeing you in Nashville next weekend. We're gonna hang out.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. The Fuggers are coming to town. We're going to see Jerry Cantrell. Chris and I are going to be special guests at the Full Moon and Horror and Tattoo convention going on here in Nashville. That's on Saturday the 16th coming up. So if you're in the Nashville area, you want to go to that convention and check it out. Full Moon, Horror, and Tattoo. It's always awesome. I met Ace Frehley at one of those.
Yeah, you did.
Always a good time at that thing. Come out and check us out.
And my wife and I are going to get our first tattoos at the convention.
Oh, nice. You guys are both getting Decibel Geek tattoos, huh?
Yeah, sure, okay.
I used to go bowling with the Jerry Cantrell every Christmas and every Thanksgiving.
Nice.
You know, he'd come visit the Rooster, his dad, and when I was working for Vinnie Paul, you know, we'll get into that in a minute, but we always had Thanksgiving or Christmas over at Vinnie's house, and Jerry Cantrell would always come over, and we would go bowling afterwards. And true story.
Wow.
Name drop.
Wild.
So if you get to meet him, you can say, you know, VideoBob goes bowling with you. So he's a good guy. He's
Jerry
quiet.
Cantrell,
He's shy.
He was one of my guitar heroes when I was first learning how to play guitar. Like when Facelift and Dirt came out, like huge influence on me as a guitar player. Obviously took it way further than I did, but yeah, I love those early Alice in Chains records are amazing, and I love his solo stuff too. It's awesome
for sure. It's all good. Good. I'm looking forward to next weekend hanging out with the Fuggers.
So yeah, so we got a brand new episode out yesterday, and it's a new noise for April of 2022, talking about music news going on, and already got controversial with some of my rants that I made about you know, Bon Jovi's tour opener and all that, and his vocals and everything. So got a reaction, so I guess that's what matters, right?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you listen to that video, you can't say he sounds fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, nobody's saying that.
Nobody's saying that.
Nobody's saying that. But so we want to get into a little bit of rock and roll show and tell. And I already said before we went on air with Bob that Aaron and I are going to go first because Bob's going to actually blow us out of the water with what he's got.
I don't know about that.
Well, I don't know.
I got a couple of tchotchkes.
Yeah, give me a break. A couple, but I'll go first. I just went to the Great Escape here in Murfreesboro. Oh, what have you got there? Oh,
that's me, Jerry Cantrell, and Vinnie bowling right there.
Wow.
Nice.
Just in case you thought I was making that up.
Oh no, I came prepared. I even found some photos and stuff. Like there's Bob and Vinny right there hanging out. So,
that was one of the last times we hung out. That was at the Golden Tiki here in Vegas. I was just there the other night. They have his the Golden Tiki is, I lost my focus. There it goes. Come on. Let me see if I can get that to work.
Focus, Bob.
What's up? Focus both. What's going on with that? That's a piece of shit. Hold on. Maybe if I do that, I've never had to do that before. Hold on. Sorry.
The Decibel Geek
I
curse.
pissed it off. Yeah. Anyway, Golden Tiki. Give me a second. Let me go find my camera settings here because it's on another app. I don't like this camera, by the way. It's a Brio camera. Don't buy this camera. This camera sucks. So Golden Tiki is... I can't get this file open. There we go. That's what I needed. That's what Daddy needed.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I can even go in and change the field of view. There we go. So
Bob, you're beautiful.
The Golden Tiki is this tiki bar that everybody hangs out. All the rock stars, everybody hangs out there, and they do these amazing tiki drinks, obviously. And they'll do a shrunken head ceremony to in effigy of different celebrities. So all the local celebrities have a little shrunken head that's on display, and Vinny's is prominently displayed there because we used to hang out there a lot. But Sebastian Bach just got one the other day, so because he lives here now. So
That's cool.
anyway, sorry for the.
No, that's cool. Golden and like Stefan Adika, who I mentioned, like that. It's kind of how I found you. Was you were on his show, and he had the guy that runs Golden Tiki on there, and they were talking about how haunted the place is, and like they've got got some like almost like disembodied voices and stuff that they've gotten on tape and stuff at that place. And if I ever make it out to Vegas, I want to check that place out because it's got quite a history to it.
You might want to make a reservation. It's usually packed, but I might go over there and, man, they got some wicked spare ribs. I had some pork sliders over there. They got food, the drinks, the chicks are hot. I mean, the place should be 10 times bigger than it is because there's a line around the block to get in there. It's over in Chinatown on Spring Mountain. A lot of great restaurants over there, and it's one of the things I love about Vegas is places like that because a lot of people visit Vegas, they only see the Strip, but there's a lot of great things just off the Strip that make it so much fun here.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so I don't have a lot to show off. I just found some cool stuff, and I used to have this magazine years ago. I went to Great Escape, and like they had this Guitar World. This was one around when Psycho Circus came out. That was when Kiss was on the cover. It's got some good interviews in it. I've got picked up some vinyl. I found a promo copy of Rossington Collins Band. You guys remember that?
That's cool. Yeah. They were in Skinnerd.
Yeah. Also, this was funny. There's a band called ISIS from the 70s. I think they were like an all-female band. And they were this is a Kiss connection. This is me being a complete nerd because they were on Buddha Records, which was Neil Bogart's label before he started Casablanca. And also ISIS, this band was on the bill with Kiss at Coventry on one of their earliest shows.
Wow.
So I always collect odd vinyl. And then I found this for $10. Do you guys ever heard of Motor Sister? This was Scott Ian and Pearl a Day, who's Meatloaf's daughter, singing.
Oh, yeah.
And
went to Scores with them one night.
Yeah, and Joey Vera from Armored Saint, John Tempesta from White Zombie on drums.
Wow.
Right on.
And it's a double vinyl. They had it for $10. I was like, I'm buying that for $10. That's a good deal.
That's gotta rock.
That's only $5 a boob.
Exactly.
It's a deal.
I'm a bargain shopper, Bob.
Bargain.
Eric Singer, he's one of my neighbors. I hang out with Eric Singer all the time. Not to name drop, but it's just he's one of my best friends. And I got this car with a tape deck in it, and he was over at the Kiss warehouse, and he goes, Bob, I grabbed some junk for you. So he brought me this. Hold on.
Here we go. We're going to get shown up.
This isn't even show and tell. This is just some crap I had laying around. But he grabbed this cassette. He said this was probably Paul's, and it's a promotional, promotional use only, not for sale, and it's Kiss. You wanted the best, you got the best.
Oh, the compilation record.
So it's a comp record, and sorry, this light's in the way. Let me move that light out of the way. And it's a compilation. So this I don't know what year this was made.
95 or 6, I think.
But it's he said, well, this is probably what they mail out to critics or to radio stations or whatever. But it's a cassette, and he said it was a box of Paul's cassettes that he didn't want anymore. And I also got there was a Heaven and Hell in there.
Oh, nice.
A Bad Company, Burning Sky.
Cool.
And he thought this was, I love Judas Priest, so it's a British Steel, but he noticed that the arrangement was different. He goes, it's the arrangement of the songs is in a different order, and he just thought that was interesting. Maybe it's a foreign copy, because look at the manufacture of the actual cassette is kind of odd as well. Like anyway. It's probably really not that special, but I just think it's cool that he gave me. So, Paul Stanley, I'm sorry that Eric stole your cassettes. They're now going into my old car, and I will be listening to those later.
I stole your tapes.
I stole your tapes.
Aaron, what'd you pick up over the last week?
I just got two simple things. Everybody always gives us props for turning them on to new music and new bands. And it was probably about a month ago, we were right here on Friday Night Live. We were talking about Sabotage. And I said, you know, I just never knew nothing about Sabotage. I never really checked them out. I don't know nothing about them. And everyone said, oh, you got to go check out Sabotage. So then I ended up finding I found one CD that was from later on in their career, and everybody said, no, you got to get Hall of the Mountain King. You got to get Hall of the Mountain King.
Got it.
I got Hall. This is an amazing album. It is amazing. I put this thing in the car, been cruising around with it, haven't taken it out all week long. Every song on here cooks, man. It is killer. The singer on here is amazing. He can change his voice up and do all kinds of different stuff. And I couldn't even tell you the names of the members of the band because I know nothing about Sabotage. I only know that album is killer, and I'm going to be jamming on that one for a long time and getting a lot more. This one here, a little Kiss related. I didn't even know this came out on CD. I thought it only came out on vinyl, but I found it.
Oh, the
pretty
Tokyo
good
one.
price. This is a pretty cool live album, man. It's got Eric Singer with Ace Frehley. That's rare, you know, and that's pretty cool. I know this is old news to the Kiss fans because this has been out a long time. But like I said, I didn't even know it was out on CD. I thought they only released it on vinyl. And so when I saw it on CD, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I've always wanted to check that out. They do some pretty cool stuff on there. And Paul Stanley back in 2001 sounds like $1 million, man. So good. I really enjoy this live album a lot.
That's the one that I do have an interest in because I wish the Eric Singer and Ace Frehley lineup had actually done more together because I think that it would have been cool to hear those guys do a record together.
I think so. And they talk about, you know, hey, Tokyo, you know, when we first came here, they told us we were real big. You know, we had no idea what that meant. And then we played the Budokan and we're like, wow, you know. And so he's telling the stories, you know, to the people in Japan. You know, Paul Stanley's out there doing the frontman thing. And it's pretty cool, man. It's really cool. I like it a lot.
Where'd you find that one at?
I found that at McKay's. It was $15.
Somebody
Double
already
CD.
sold that used? That's surprising.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
I'm looking at this dude who keeps popping off on his avatar. First of all, is hilarious because it's Paul Stanley.
Oh yeah,
over on top of Joe Exotic.
Yes,
but then he calls himself Sinkin' Stanley, and it's like there's all we have these conversations all the time about people that call themselves fans, but they're really not fans. They just want to be trolls and shit on the band and make it's like I don't even get it.
Oh, so you're familiar with Sinkin' Stanley.
I don't know anything about him. I just know that, like, you know, and Eric is the nicest guy on the planet Earth. There's no way to piss this guy off. No one is ever going to have a story about him being rude or whatever. I'm telling you, he's the nicest guy in the world. But, you know, he has to deal with, you know, the fans, as they're called, that, you know, oh, you should have your own makeup. And, you know, he's just like, listen, I work for the band Kiss just like a roadie works for Kiss. Yeah. I show up, I play drums, I collect a paycheck, I go home to my cats. That's what I do. It's a job. And what am I going to, like, not do it? Like, yeah, no, I'd rather play at a local band in a casino. No, that's fine. No, he plays in Kiss. It's the greatest job in the world. Oh. He's gonna
dress like an orangutan if they tell him to.
If Gene tells him to dress like Ronald McDonald, he's going to... Okay, where's my clown shoes? I mean, he is the most easygoing guy in the world, and he goes, hey, listen, it's part of the gig. If I got whatever the job is, I do the job, you know? And the reason him and Tommy have lasted as long as they have is because they don't argue. They don't sit there and go to Gene and Paul and go, we should do that. You know, the famous story of Peter Criss and Ace Frehley, like, oh, I don't want $1 million. I want what you're getting.
Right.
Oh, well, then you can go back home and we'll get Eric and Tommy to do this. So that's how they got their gig. And the thing about it is, we just went and saw the Scorpions the other day. Now, Klaus is like 74. I think Rudolph Schenker, 74. These guys are old. You know, I just lost my mom a few months ago. She was 76 years old.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She looked like the Crypt Keeper by the time she was gone. I don't know how these 70-year-old rock stars, Gene, Paul, these Scorpions, you know, Eric's the young guy. He's only 63. And
he's the young
dude
guy.
is in better shape than me. Yeah, I'm 47, right? And I can't keep up with this guy. I don't know what baby blood they're drinking. I don't know how they do this. But the point is that, like, the way I look at it is we were watching the Scorpions, and this is not a diss to the Scorpions because we're great friends with Mickey D. He was the super host. He invited us backstage. He gave us tickets. We went out hanging out with him. Mickey D's a lot of fun. I had him stuffed in the car. Like I had 5 people stuffed in. Had him, Brent Fitz, Eric, and their girlfriends. I mean, there were so many people stuffed in the back of my car we couldn't hardly drive. And he's a party animal, Mickey D. By the way, this dude is like, he had a beer in each hand and snuff, and he's like,
nice.
And it was hilarious. But anyway, the point is I go, look, you've got these guys singing and dancing in 7-inch high heels with fireworks going off. How they do it and how they continue at their age, and I'm grateful to see it because when I went and saw the Scorpions show, the Scorpions had this huge, giant video display. And on the video display were videos of pyrotechnics, videos of confetti, videos of but you go to a KISS show, they don't have videos, they have actual fireworks. Yeah. The band starts off flying in on flying saucers. Eric's drums goes up in the air 20, 30 feet. I mean, there's not another stage show of any kind, be it Cirque du Soleil, be it a rock show, be it Broadway. There's not a stage live performance that equals the live performance that KISS does. Nothing. The giant arms take them out in the audience. You got Paul flying across.
Oh, that's cool production.
There's nothing out there like that. And I look at their show the same way when we went and saw the Chris Angel show the other day. There's lots of production. There's confetti. And you could see how much KISS influence was in his show. Not only was there KISS influence in his show, he literally has KISS posters in the show. So, it's pretty obvious. But the point of that is that when you go see a KISS show, you're watching musical theater, and you're seeing something that is of a production value that I can't imagine how they pull that off night after night with 30, 40 tractor trailers and hundreds of people. So I guess my point to all that is with these people that complain about various things, like for instance, when we saw the Scorpions, they did a new song and Klaus had a backing track that he sang along with because he had overlapping vocals where he would sing a line and then another production of himself would sing a line. And it was pretty obvious that he was singing with a backtrack. And we even said to Mickey, you should have the other guys at least pretend to sing that other line so it's not so obvious. And he goes, well, it's a new song and it has overlapping vocals. So we just put those backtracks and he's singing and you can see that he's singing. Yeah. Right. And so clearly Paul has done these things as well. And so people are like, oh, he's lip syncing. It's like, I've seen the show so many times. He's singing. For help. I mean, hey, listen, if he was gonna lip sync, he would use a tape from 30 years ago. You know what I mean? He's singing.
All of a sudden, one day everything changes.
But the thing about it is, I'm a singer myself, and it's like sometimes you have background vocals, or you have doubling, or you have effects. Something I bust Eric's balls about all the time is I go, well, why is it on? I Was Made for Loving You. Why can't you put in the whip crack sound? It's like, just put it in there. Like, you guys have all the production in the world, and you can't get a
It is a cool part
we don't put it in there. And I'm like, it's my favorite part of the whole song.
Yeah.
You can't put that in there with all the stuff
full
you guys are
disco
doing.
Sound.
Exactly. And so I don't understand the point of a fan that's like not a fan. What they are is they're heels like that watch wrestling and yell at the bad guy, and I just go, what? Why are you here? Like if you're not.
Well, I mean, the way I view it is, vote with your wallet. If you don't want to go see them live, don't go see them live. I mean that's really what it boils down to.
Eddie Trunk, the man, was sitting right here on this couch, doing it's a long story, but they're doing this documentary, and they rented my house to do the interview because they like this room. Because a friend of mine at the production company, same production company used to do my TV show, was doing this documentary. And he goes, hey, why don't we just use your house? And Eddie lives there in Vegas, and we'll do it. And so I was sitting around talking to Eddie Trunk, and Eddie Trunk has been very vocal about KISS.
Oh, yeah.
And matter of fact, me and Eric were at this party the other day, and Eric and Eddie Trunk comes up, and Eric's super nice to him and everything. But the whole time I'm thinking, all the shit you've said about these guys, and you're going to go up and say hi and shake his hand, And Eddie's like, they're lip syncing, and Tommy and Eric shouldn't, be wearing their makeup, and he said a lot of controversial things about the band, and But I get it. It's his job to be controversial. And
Yeah,
I
but
see him all the time, you know.
I don't think he's ever said anything like personally against Eric Singer.
No,
or
not
Tommy,
personal.
you know?
No,
But
no.
you know, there's a lot of Kiss fans. I personally would have rather seen Eric and Tommy have their own characters. Now I understand why they don't, and I certainly don't
agree.
say those guys shouldn't be in Kiss, because if they weren't in Kiss, there wouldn't
Somebody
be
else
a
would be.
Kiss.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that, but. Everybody's got their opinions on it. I would have rather seen him wearing something else, but I understand, when
I kind
the
of agree
ideas-
with you. Like, I think that maybe they should have had their own characters, just like Eric Carr had the Fox and
Right.
Vinnie Vincent had his whatever that was called.
Yeah,
And,
they would have been cooler that way, I think.
And maybe that would have said it. But I think what Kiss realized when they did their comeback is that people just want the old stuff. That's why they're not going to make any new records. Just like seeing the Scorpions the other night. I mean, this is a band that started in 1965. Yeah. When you go see a legacy band like that and they utter the words, "Here's a new song," you're like, time to go get a beer and take a piss. Like, I don't want to hear a new song. I'm not going to buy the new record. I want to hear the records. I want to hear the songs you did in the 70s and 80s. And stop.
Well, that's kind of my gripe, though, is like the majority of people they want to ride the nostalgia train. But to me, I mean, we're kind of the oddballs where it's like, I love the new Scorpions record, and I'm happy they're doing it.
It doesn't suck. It's a great record. I mean, there's
awesome.
a lot of great. We went and saw the Guess Who the other night that played at the Golden Nugget. And the Guess Who started in like the 60s, right? And I don't think there's an original member in the band.
Is Bert not in the band anymore?
I don't think anybody's in there. They had the drummer
That's
from
crazy.
Tesla playing the other day because the first guy was sick. So there's like no members of Guess Who in the Guess Who, and they're playing songs that are like, here's this was on Ed Sullivan or whatever, and I'm like, you guys weren't even born yet.
So they really are the Guess Who.
Yeah, it's the presume whom. I was like, it's the Guess Who cover band, but they were great. But the point is the songs were great because you're listening to these songs that you've heard your whole life, and then all of a sudden they're like playing new music, and I'm like, I don't want to hear any new Guess Who songs. They're playing songs from the 60s and 70s, that you've heard in every Vietnam movie, and it's like, I don't want to hear a new Guess Who song by members of a band that's not even in the band. And so I feel the same way about when I go see Kiss or whatever else. It's like, Eric, I love you, but I don't care about, I want to pretend that it's 1978 and I'm watching the show. That's it. I'm one of those guys,
Yeah.
So
what do you have for the rock and roll show and tell? Because you've got something right behind you that's pretty cool right there. Over
this
your shoulder.
This is one of Gene Simmons' artworks. He had an art gallery showing about 6 months ago here in Vegas of where he, during COVID, during the shutdown, he started painting. I was the first person to buy one of his pieces of art, and I don't know what it's called. It's a big red hand like this. That's whatever that is, and or it's this. I can't even do that. It's like live long and prosper. I don't know, but anyway, I bought it, and I was gonna hang it in my Kiss room. And I kind of had an idea. I don't know how well this would work. Let me see if I can do this. Give me just a second, because I've done this on my own show. What I'll do is I'm gonna click onto the stream link, and let's see if this will work. I'm gonna try to log on with my phone.
Okay.
And then I can walk around and show you the house. This is kind of goofy. Just bear with me. Vamp while I do this. This will take me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You could fill in time.
So Brandon Field says that Sarzo just left the Guess Who.
I didn't know. Rudy?
Really?
Was Rudy in? I didn't know Rudy was in the band. I know he went back to Quiet Riot recently.
Yeah, so
that's
right. I think I do remember hearing something like that and being surprised that he was playing with the Guess Who.
Okay, so I'm gonna kick this version out and bring you on the other one.
All right, I'm gonna take off that.
And
there we go. I'm mobile.
Okay.
Now, let's see if this will work here. I'm gonna take you on a little tour of the house. So, when you first enter the house, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
We have Ace Frehley's
That's
three
cool.
pickup guitars. So this is an Ampliphone, but I got him to sign it.
Nice.
We have Paul's Shattered guitar signed. I did the Gene Simmons bass class, master class a few years back. So I have the Gene bass. Have his boots down here along with one of Eric's mirror ball drums.
Nice.
We have the vault. I have a couple of the vaults, the Gene Simmons vault.
Cool. You have 2 vaults.
I have 2 vaults. It's a long story. I'll have to tell the story about that sometime. Now, I do a Judas Priest tribute, and I have a bunch of Rob Halford's costumes recreated. So I have
Nice.
I had a band in Dallas called Turbo Lover, and we would do Judas Priest.
That's cool.
So they've signed. Now, I actually got to perform with Judas Priest at the Whiskey A Go-Go. So me, Rob Halford, Richie Faulkner, Ian Hill, and Scott Travis all played together at the Whiskey A Go-Go with me and Rob singing. And
Holy shit.
You can find that on YouTube, yeah. So
That
they
must have
signed
been
all the
fucking
stuff
fun.
for me. Yeah, I've done a bunch of stuff for them. Now, I told you I used to work for Vinnie Paul. I used to tour with Hell Yeah. I used to drive their tour bus and make their music videos.
Nice.
And this was a DVD I did called Dime Vision that I worked on. So this is signed by all of Pantera, and that one's signed by all of Damage Plan. So I have a lot of the old records with Pantera and those guys, which
Hell yeah.
whole different things.
Wow.
A couple of Billboard Awards. I did a thing called Rebel Meets Rebel. I did their music video for that.
And David Allen Coe.
Yep. And he used to come stay at my house in Dallas all the time.
Nice.
So let me roll off into the Kiss room, and I forgot I didn't get the lights on and stuff first. But now this here, if you could see, it's kind of dark. I'm sorry, but it's this is
Paul's
a smashed Paul Stanley guitar that he signed to me that was from their Vegas residency.
Hell yeah, man. Badass.
Hold on here, let me get this fired up.
Oh, you got
On
the
this wall,
pinball
we have,
machine.
some gold records, Kiss gold record. So this is our Kiss guest room. So when people come and stay with us, they stay in the Kiss guest room. And we have the Kiss pinball machine that they can play and enjoy. We have, it looks like a Marshall stack, but it's actually a fridge full of beer.
I can see it now. I'd be like, honey,
Yeah.
let's have sex. Not now, baby. I'm playing Kiss pinball. Fuck you.
High score.
Yeah. So there's a TV and lava lamps in here. So I keep a lot of my Kiss crap in here. The Kiss Tart Army is what.
Oh, you've even got the bust over the closet. I remember those.
Yeah,
from
we have
Spencer's.
those. Yeah, we have remember those.
Yeah, those are cool.
So this is a Kiss room, and we have an Elvis room around the corner too for people.
Oh,
who love Elvis.
nice.
Like it's because I'm a big Elvis guy. Well, me and Eric, we both wear TCBs. you
Oh
know.
yeah, I know he's been big into that.
And he's got one. He's got a new one that's really cool that he's going to be wearing, debuting on this new tour. Great big one.
Are you excited for the Baz Luhrmann movie coming out about Elvis?
I don't know. I think it's going to be fun. It'll be cool.
The trailer looks awesome.
Let me see what the old lady's doing up here. She's probably up here watching TV, but I'll show you some of the other guitars that we have. Like this one here is when we did a Ozfest tour. So Ozzy and Zach signed that.
Nice.
We toured
Kerry
with
King.
a Flair, Kerry King. This is a Kirk Hammett. I think Metallica was on one of the festivals that we did. I did a TV show with Brian Johnson called Cars That Rock, and so Brian signed that with Angus. It's too dark in here, you can't see.
I can see
So
it.
my old lady's watching TV. But so, little tour, and unfortunately the Eric Carr Porsche is gone. I know you were talking about that. We took it over to the mechanic shop, so it's not here.
Well,
But I'll go back to the other camera here.
Well, let's get into the Eric Carr Porsche. So, the Porsche was a gift from Gene, Paul, and Ace to Eric when he got hired by the band, and they gave it to him. And then, the Kiss Monster Mini Golf had purchased the car and had it on display for a few years, and then you bought it from them. Is that correct?
Yeah. Me and Eric were over at their house the other day, and they were like, they're totally revamping the whole place, and we were here. Let me. You took me out of the studio. Let me go.
All right,
let me go back.
let me switch
Let
you
me
over.
go back
Hang
to
on.
that.
Just a second.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Okay, that was kind of weird, but it's kind of fun. I do that on my show all the time.
That's cool.
That's
So-
awesome, man. Very cool tour. You got awesome stuff.
Christina and Patrick run the Kiss Mini Golf here in Las Vegas at the Rio. Highly recommend you go if you haven't been. If you're a Kiss fan, if you're a mini golf fan, it's epic. So All right, so this is the story that I understand because I talked to Eric Carr's sister on the phone today. I talk to her every other day.
All right.
And I was asking her about the timeline of the car. And basically, when Eric died, there it is in my backyard, in 91, it stayed at his parents' house until 2012. They just left it there in the garage. They'd start it up every once in a while and move it, but by about 1997, it was no longer running.
Right.
And so 2012, they sold it to the people at Kiss Mini Golf, and they had it at their original location across from the Hard Rock on Harmon Avenue, and then they had to move over into the Rio shortly after that. But so basically, it's been on display there, and, you know, when you have that many people going through there, it's hard to take care of the thing. I mean, people were, you know, sitting on it and touching it, and it's hard to keep an eye on it. And it had fallen into disrepair, and they were just running out of room. You know, they have so much stuff there, and they were like, you know what? You're a car guy. You're a Kiss fan. We trust you. What do you think? Would you like to take this car? And, you know, as a car, I mean, it's a 1980 Porsche 924. The car is worth like $1,500, $2,000. I mean, I don't know. It's not an expensive car.
All right.
But I said, you know what? I would like to do it because I'm a fan of Eric Carr. I'm a Kiss fan. I'm a car guy. I think that it's sort of my duty as a Kiss soldier in the Kiss Army to fix this car. I didn't want it to, and also I think one of the reasons they chose me to do it is they knew that I could get it out of there, like, because it was like stuck in there. It was a major job to get it out.
Yeah, it's a video show.
Yeah, they lost the keys. They lost the title. Like, the thing didn't move. They couldn't even get inside it. I hired a locksmith to come out. We had to break in the car. We finally got in there, aired up the tires and everything. And like, the guy just has been sending me pictures today. He's pulling the motor apart. And he's like, there's acorns in this carburetor, basically. I was like, Jesus. So, like, unfortunately, like, it just wasn't taken care of the way it should have been.
Yeah.
And that's not a slight against the mini golf people. It's like they have other fish to fry. They're running a business, and it's like they can't just, you know, they didn't want to keep putting money into this car. And you know, I talked to Bruce Kulick, and he told me, he said, you know, Eric didn't really he hated this car too. He was constantly fixing it. He didn't drive it a lot. You know, it was always a problem. Matter of fact, in the little documentary that called Chasing the Fox, he shows the car in his video, and he's talking about his dog. He goes, this is my stinky dog. And speaking of stinky, look at my stinky Porsche. You know, this thing is always broken down. So, you know, our plan is to get it running. I don't want to restore it too much because I want it to be as original as possible, but we are going to sell the car. We probably, if I can get everything done in time, I might put it in the Barrett Jackson Las Vegas show in June.
Oh,
but
cool.
I'm trying to maybe get it into some car museums where it can be. I want it to be on display where fans can go see it. That's what I would like. I'd like to be able to put it somewhere, maybe the Deezer collection or in Branson or at the Volo Museum or somewhere where a fan can go visit it instead of just in a private collection. But I may not have control over that. So, you know, if you out there, if you have a public collection and you're interested in the car, reach out to me and maybe we can work something out. It's not going to go for a lot of money. Okay. Right. But, you know, I'm going to have to spend a couple of $1,000 just to get this thing kind of to operate so we get it running. I mean, it hasn't run since 97.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've been posting my video updates on my channel on, you can just Google VideoBob, VideoBob. Just look for VideoBob and you can watch the videos. And I'll be posting another video maybe tonight or tomorrow as soon as it renders. But, you know, my connection with the cars, you know, a lot of your audience probably doesn't know kind of who I am. So I'm called VideoBob because I was a video producer. I did about 350 music videos over the years, working with Vinnie Paul and a lot of other artists. I did videos for like Gwar and Type O Negative and Megadeth and all these different people over the years. And but most famously, the stuff I did for Rebel Meets Rebel and Hell Yeah, because that played on MTV. And then, of course, our dear friend Vinny died in 2018, and I lost him. And but in the past, you know, I did restaurants. I also did these cars, and just for fun, I started building movie cars for my own self. I built a Back to the Future DeLorean time machine replica, and everybody loved it. and people kept asking me to build them one. Well, I've built 42
Wow.
since then. So if you've ever been to Universal Studios in Florida, I built the car that's on display there. And most car museums you go to, I built those cars. So I've done like 8 Knight Rider cars, 8 Bluesmobiles, a couple of A-Team vans, Scooby-Doo, like all kinds of stuff. And so we had our own TV show on the Reels channel back in 2014, 2015 called Screen Machines. And so, but since then, I've just been doing YouTube. And I live here in Vegas. My shop where we build the cars is still in Dallas, where I'm from. And I moved out here like a year ago because it's Vegas. I love it. And I've got so many cool friends here like Eric. And I've met so many fun people. And it's just a fun town. I mean, if you want to live this kind of lifestyle, this is the place to do it. LA is screwed. I don't want to be anywhere near that place. Yeah. So it's like you can buy liquor and weed 24 hours a day here. It's
it's Vegas.
It's Vegas.
Well, and so many of the rock and roll guys have. It's like Nashville and Vegas have kind of absorbed all the rock and roll guys from L.A. over the years.
Eddie Trunks moved out here. Sebastian Bach's moved out here. You got Bruce Kulick here. You got Tommy Thayer. You got Eric Singer. For a minute, Gene had moved out here, but his old lady hated the the house, hated the place.
Yeah, he didn't make it very long in Vegas, did he? He turned tail pretty fast.
He liked it. His old lady and his kids didn't like it. They were like, I'm not really into it. And he was sleeping by himself. He's like, what am I going to do? So he sold he's selling the house. I don't think he sold it yet. We were supposed to go over there and pick up a piece of furniture. Eric always has me like, he loves to go shopping. Like he likes to go antiquing. He's all the time calling me going, I need you to come over here and pick up this, chandelier or whatever. And so I have this Roach Coach 94 Taurus wagon that I bought just for doing stuff.
I have a Taurus wagon.
Yeah. I've had like 6 of them. And
great for carrying amplifiers.
Well, most of my viewers know that my daily driver is a Rolls-Royce Phantom. So I drive that car around Vegas, and that's a big shot car. But I'm not using that to go pick up furniture, So I bought this Roach, purple station wagon, and it's so funny, people like, what do these rock stars do in their spare time? Let me tell you, he likes to go to thrift shops, swap meets, antique shops. That's his favorite thing. And he must have 7 or 8 vintage record players in his house. Like in every room, there's a different. So he's got record. He doesn't watch TV except for basketball.
Yeah.
And he just plays records.
Yeah, he loves.
So he's a vinyl head.
He loves basketball, watches, and old music. That's pretty much Eric Singer to a T. Pretty much. From what I've heard.
But greatest guy in the world, I tell you. He's most down to earth, non-rock star dude you could ever meet.
I want to get him on here one of these days because years ago we had a guy writing for the website, and he met Eric out in Vegas at one point, and out of nowhere, Eric broke out in Aaron Camaro impersonation.
Nice.
So I was like, wow, he's actually aware of the show, and he was like impersonating Aaron. So I was like, wow, he actually knows who we are. So I was like, that's kind of cool.
Here, let me see if I can FaceTime him. I'm going to call him right now. Let me see if he'll answer.
I got to meet him in '98 at a KISS convention. You're going to call him right now?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, that'd be cool. We'll get a drop in from Eric Singer.
Well, he's probably at rehearsal. Let me see. He's going to tell me. He's going to answer the phone and go, fuck off, and hang up.
You're talking to Decibel Geek. Fuck off.
He's not answering. He's probably playing. So let me. I'm going to ask him.
Yeah, I won't make the mistake this time of telling him I loved his drumming on the second Badlands album.
I seen him at a little KISS convention here in Nashville like years ago. My kid was real little, and they're like, well, we're going to do a KISS game show. And everyone looks at me and goes, you should do it. You should do it. I'm thinking, oh, man, I don't think so. I don't know how good I'll do. And I got up there, and all the questions were pretty basic. And I was hitting that buzzer, answering the question, hitting the buzzer, answering the question. So well, afterwards, I got an autograph from Eric Singer on a drum head for winning.
Oh, that's a cool prize.
Yeah, cool.
When I was doing the thing with Rob Halford, I was doing a warm up with Sebastian Bach, and I think I was singing Electric Eye or something. And Rob Halford had his phone out, and he was like, filming me, and he was dancing, And I said, "Hey, you gonna put me on your Twitter, on your Instagram?" And he goes, "No, mate, I'm saving it for later." Rob Halford's gonna jack off to me later. Awesome. Just had all my leather stuff on, you know.
That's like
I get
the
all
ultimate
leathered out.
That's the ultimate badge of honor, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was like,
think
yes,
so.
yeah. What's he doing later?
That's too
Oh, that
funny.
was hilarious.
Well,
Yeah, I've gotten to
like-
meet a lot of amazing people over the years. Just it's I'm very, very lucky. I'm very, very fortunate to be the nobody that I am and have gotten to meet and hang out with all of my heroes.
Well, I mean, you've got to meet all these cool people. Like, where does it start for you? Like who was the band that like turned you on to rock and metal? What was your entry point?
Pantera.
Pantera.
I was 15 years old. There was a local club in Fort Worth called Joe's Garage. And I was finally kind of old enough. I wasn't quite old enough to get in. I think you were supposed to be like 16 or whatever. But my friend took me to see another local band that was called Disciple that was opening up for them. And I saw Pantera come on the stage. And at that time, this was before Cowboys from Hell. This was $5. They played every weekend at this place. But they were still working out. They were still doing power metal, and they were working out the stuff that went on to Cowboys from Hell. And I remember the first time they played Domination for a crowd. Nice. And I saw a mosh pit happen that it scared the shit out of me. Like, I'd never seen, 100 people just decide to beat the shit out of each other in the middle of, like, what is going on here? And at that time, skinheads were kind of a thing, like a lot of people don't understand that during the 80s and 90s, the skinheads were just part of the scene. I mean, you had punk rockers, you had goth kids, you had country guys, you had skinheads. And there'd be 20, 30 skinheads that would show up to these shows, all Nazi looking, and they would just beat the shit out of each other in these shows. And it was horrifying to me as a young kid. But I remember seeing Pantera playing, and I was just blown away by these guys. And so long before there were such things as podcasts and internet, there was cable access. And me and my friend Carl had a cable access show back in the early 90s that was called Underground Connection. And I can't put any of it on YouTube because of all the music. I can't, But back then you could just play anything you wanted. There was no copyright algorithm.
Right.
We just played it, And we did Underground Connection, and it eventually just became the VideoBob Show. But we could just do anything we wanted, and it was on cable. And Vinny and Dime used to watch the show. They used to call and leave messages all the time, but we saw them every weekend, And fast forwarding many years later, after Daryl was killed and Vinny started his record company, he called me up in 2006, and he goes, "Hey man, I've seen you around the scene for years. I mean, we've hung out at parties together. I mean, I know who you are. I know what you can do. I'm starting a record company. I want to put out books, videos, DVDs, everything. There's this new shit called MySpace.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. Can you help me?" And I said, yes. And I went down to his office, and he's like, "Hey man, I'll give you like $300 a month, and then I'll pay you per project." And I was like, yes. Like, I didn't care what it was. I was like, yes. Because I knew that the opportunity was going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And, up until that point, this is what I used to do. Back in, like, we're talking 93, 94, I would pick up a CD, a record, I'd look on the back, and it would have the name of the record company. And then I'd call, like, 411, and I'd say, "I need the number to Metal Blade Records, New York, Roadrunner Records." And they'd give me a phone number, and I'd call them, and I'd say, "Hi, my name is Bob. I'm with Channel 46 in Fort Worth. We have a TV show, and we'd like to interview your artist live, and then we'd also like to play their promo video." And I think the thing that helped me was I had access to broadcast tape, like 3/4 machines, beta machines. Like, they used to be these big tapes. Because if you asked for a VHS tape, they knew you were full of shit. But if you asked for the broadcast tape, they knew you were a real TV station. Yeah. And I could play those. And so Metal Blade and Roadrunner and all these different labels would give me passes to all the shows. They would send me their music videos and swag. I would get promo pictures, tapes, advances, and I could waltz into any concert like I was, press. Wow. And, so at a young age, I got to know all these people, and they'd say, okay, you could come in here. Like, for instance, I was recently contacted by the family of Nick Menza from Megadeth because I had done this great stellar interview with him back when Euthanasia came out, and there's not a lot of interviews with Nick, and they're trying to do like a documentary about him, and they wanted to use the video for it. And so a lot of times I would end up, they'd say, well, they'd look at me and they go, this guy's nobody, so Dave Mustaine's not going to talk to him, but Nick will talk to him, and Nick's like, yeah, I'll talk to you. So I got to be friendly with a lot of the lesser members, if that's not insulting to say. And these people, like for instance Eric Singer, are a little bit more down to earth. Paul Stanley's not going to go down to the deli with me and have a sandwich, but Eric will.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I created relationships with roadies, with drum techs, with security guards, with bus drivers, and these people that were the more down to earth, the bass players, and they were willing to hang out and be cool. Whereas, maybe you couldn't get to the big shot guy, but this other guy thinks you're cool. And they would do interviews with us. And through those relationships, I got to know other people. Now, I've never been one to really drink or smoke or do drugs. I don't get drunk. I don't get high. And so when I was working with Vinny, they would look around the room and go, well, shit, Video Bob's the only sober one here. You're driving. And so I'm driving the limo. Then I started driving the tour bus, so I drove the tour bus for Vinny and for the Hell Yeah tours. And I'm not a bus driver. I became a bus driver because I was the only guy sober enough to drive the bus. The bus driver was fucking passed out. So I can drive this thing, And so that's how I got to be the bus driver for the tour. Nice. He's sober. Can you drive a 40-foot Prevost? Sure, why not? I didn't wreck it too many times. And that's how I got the gig, And so I was doing double duty. They're like, look, he'll drive the bus, and then so I would shoot videos. So one of their biggest videos, Alcohol and Ass, that we did for Hell Yeah, and the whole Below the Belt DVD that we did, basically I would drive the bus, I'd sleep 8 hours, I'd get up about 5 in the afternoon, go down to the venue, I would record and film the antics, like we used to do for the Pantera home videos. And then that's how that happened, and they got me for like $500 a week, So it was a lot of double duty, and a lot of people have tried to replicate what Pantera did with if you look at the Jackass videos and things like that, they were watching vulgar video.
Yeah.
Dude, the Pantera home videos were fucking legendary. They
so
were
the
roadmap for all of us that were complete fuck ups back in the day.
That's how these guys were all the time. I mean, Dime would just, you could not trust being around Daryl. This motherfucker would come in, we'd be sitting here, and here comes a Roman candle up your ass. It's that was legit, and there just happened to be cameras. He wasn't doing it for the camera. They just happened to be filming it. This guy did that all the time. And
I've said for so many years, Dimebag Daryl in today's society with the instantaneous, YouTube channels and stuff, he would be a YouTube legend if he was still around right now.
Oh my God. YouTube started, I think, 2006, 2007. If Daryl had lived, oh my God, he would have the biggest metal YouTube channel of all time.
Yes.
I mean,
it would be groundbreaking.
And the thing is I get in trouble for saying this, but he did a lot of mean shit. He would go in and bust up some stuff. He didn't pay for that stuff. He just left. There's on one of the videos where he goes into this club and starts busting up all the lights over the pool tables. He didn't pay for that shit. He just left. The guy that owned that bar was pissed for a long time. He did, that was legit crazy shit that he did. And, we did Below the Belt DVD for Hell Yeah, and it was not nearly on the level of vulgar videos because we just weren't, willing to go that far, especially in today's litigious world. I mean, back in the days that they were doing vulgar video, I mean, they had bum fight videos where they would pay bums to beat each other up and stuff like that. You had Girls Gone Wild, and you had all these other things, but you can't get away with that stuff now.
No.
Between, you got to think about the fact that I've been struggling with this. I wonder if I should take down my Rebel Meets Rebel awards because they're rebel flags. Because now in today's world, all my Pantera clothes, they're all rebel flags. Yeah. The hats, the shirts. and they were perfectly acceptable 20 years ago, and nobody complained, and everybody thought it was cool. But now I wouldn't walk out of the house wearing a Rebel Flag Pantera shirt.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
That's an interesting thing to think about. Like, would Dimebag Darrell be canceled if he was around in today's culture?
For sure.
Yeah, probably would.
I don't think he would give a shit. He's like, he'd be like Kid Rock. He'd be like, cancel my balls. What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Cancel these nuts.
I love that. No hesitation. Yeah, you'd be canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
would.
but I mean, he just wouldn't care. He's like, what are you going to cancel? Like, you know, Pantera fans are not canceling me. You know what I mean? So the thing about it is I learned a lot from those guys. Vinny was not the prankster. He was more laid back. He just liked to kind of watch. He was more of a voyeur in that way. But I learned so much from him. He gave me so many opportunities. The amount of love and respect I have for him as a father figure and as a brother and as an employer and as a friend, he really changed my life. He opened up opportunities and doorways for me, and I cannot thank him enough. And I did when he was alive, and he knew it. And there's no doubt about it. I was a total coattail riding, name dropping, fanboy. And now that I'm much older, I'm getting closer to 50 now. I look back on some of those years, like 20 years ago, and things, and I just go, "Wow, we were assholes." But it's really sad to sit here and watch so many of your friends die.
Yeah.
It sucks a lot. That's what sucks about getting old.
Yeah.
No doubt
especially over the last couple of years.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Watching them go away. I didn't mean to bring us down with that. But.
No, it's fine. It's true. It's like the last couple of years have been eye-opening for a lot of us. But the rock and roll, especially, a lot of our heroes are not gonna be around much longer. So we kind of got to appreciate them while they're still here, But then, it's cool though that you come from that fan perspective, and then you kind of got your foot in the door. And Aaron and I are that way too. With a lot of people we've been blessed enough to meet just through doing this show. And it's if you had told me when I was 12 that I would have interviewed all these people, I never would have believed you. But yeah. So I know we've got the Eric Carr Porsche thing is cool, but. Aaron has an interesting bracket brawl if you want to hang out with us to do the bracket brawl.
Sure.
Yeah.
You have a level of expertise on this that I don't think other people do. Well, I've got to do the fancy intro real fast, so let me...
and by the way, just real quick, so Sinkin Stanley over here says, call cheater Eric Singer. Let me tell you, he says this about himself. He calls himself Cheater Chris. He calls himself Copycat. He knows all these jokes. He thinks it's
funnier than Cheater Chris.
He thinks it's funny. He does not care even a little bit. And I guess what I would really say compared to going back to what I was just saying to wrap that up is that I would rather see, and I said this to Eddie Trunk because we were having our conversation, because he's like, certain artists should just give it up. Like, for instance, Vince Neil. Like, Vince Neil can't sing a song, right? So I would rather see Vince Neil lip syncing than to hear him try to not sing. And so my argument to the people who are saying, Paul Stanley was using some tracks, I'm like, you know what? I'm just thankful to see a Kiss show. After COVID, after watching so many people die, if they were fully Milli Vanilli in the show, I would still go. I'm just happy to go to a Kiss show and at least for 2 hours get to enjoy what is going to be gone. What this thing that we love, metal, is going to be gone. It's going to go away and be replaced with the Justin Biebers and the rappers. We're the last of the breed, and it dies with us. And the next generation is not going to keep doing metal and rock, and you won't be able to go see Journey and Kiss and it's going to, there's one fucking rock club in this whole town, Vamped. Everything else is a dance club, and some DJ who's getting paid $1 million to press play on a MacBook. This thing of that we love of guitars and drums and bass and singing and fire and chicks and hair, and it's gonna be gone in another decade, in another generation. Just like you can't go anywhere and watch, jazz or an Elvis or Wayne Newton or whatever. It's gonna be gone. So I'm just glad that I'm part of Generation X. I'm part of the last generation that's going to get to enjoy this. I'm going to get to see some of the last Kiss shows in all of history. Just like if I could do anything in the world and go back to 1976 and see Elvis at the International Hotel before he died, that's just legendary to me. I can't even imagine how legendary that is. And our kids, or further generations from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, are going to go, imagine what it was like to be able to go and see Kiss live?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So you're very fortunate to even be able to see it. So that's what I say to these naysayers. I'm like, just be glad that you get to see greatness one more time, because they're only going to be doing this for another like 6 or 8 months. And then that's it. That's it, folks. And Eric Singer's going to be back to work at a McDonald's, or he used to work the parts counter at Ford. And he knows it. Gene gave him a bass the other day because he did a favor for him, and Gene gave him a bass. We put it in the garage, and he goes, this is part of my retirement plan. I'm going to save all this shit and sell it on eBay when Kiss goes out of business.
So I look forward to telling
funny.
Eric Singer, yes, I do want fries with that.
Yeah. He said he used to work at a Ford dealership parts counter, and he used to be a welder also, and he used to work at a shipping place. So, he's had real jobs. And he said, man, people would come in there and ask for car parts. He goes, what kind of car you got? He goes, a Ford. He goes, what kind? He goes, a blue one.
Jeez. These French fries taste better when Peter Criss is making them.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. We ready? Aaron's got a
Let's
special.
do this. Let's do this bracket.
All
That's a
right.
bracket.
So on Friday Night Lives, we like to do bracket brawl. We've got 16 subjects. We're going to make them battle down to the very end. This one's a little unique because we got VideoBob with us, and we've been talking about his recent acquisition of Eric Carr's Porsche. And so it'd be an interesting thought. I'm sure, Bob, you've been to auto auctions before where they roll in the 2 cars at the same time and everybody kind of looks around and then they all start bidding on the cars. So we're going to act like tonight 2 cars are being rolled out at the same time. They both cost the same amount. The only caveat is you can't resell it. You got to either drive it, put it on display, or something like that. So we're going to look at some rock and roll cars. If they could be restored or they are in excellent condition, which of the 2, if they were the same price, would you choose? So
All right, I got to do the fancy intro.
Oh, yeah, we got to do the fancy intro.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the audio on it.
Yeah.
That's the sound effects. Sounded very real, didn't it?
Top of the line here. We don't mess around. All right, so the first matchup, it's kind of a different one. We got Ted Nugent, and he's got let's see, where is he at? The 76 Ford Bronco, his famous hunting truck. So Ted Nugent's hunting
Has
truck
mothers
rolls
against
up.
drunk drivers on the side.
You can leave the stickers on or take them off, whichever you like.
Versus
the infamous 1955 pink Cadillac Fleetwood 60 owned by the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley.
That's the car that he bought for his mother. That's the second one. The first one caught on fire.
Oh, wow.
And then he replaced it with that one, had it painted pink. And anyway, sorry.
Damn, Bob knows the history.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah,
That's on display at Graceland.
I got to go with the Elvis Presley. Come on.
Well, listen, they're well, I guess they're probably
I don't know.
I guess they're probably worth the same. I mean, a 4x4 classic Bronco like that's probably pull 40, 50 grand nowadays in
Really?
top running condition. If it was in top condition, that one, I mean, if you're going by the actual values, that one being Ted Nugent's is probably worth less. But no, he could probably get 40, 50 grand for that stupid truck. But that Cadillac being Elvis's would be worth like millions. But if you were just going to go buy one like off of Craigslist, but that's a pretty desirable car. Look at the Dagmar bumpers on that thing.
Beautiful.
It's a pretty cool car.
Yeah, I mean, I've got
Even
a
if
bunch
it
of
is
Cadillacs
pink.
too. So as far as drivability goes, I mean, obviously the Bronco, but I mean, I think, because the Bronco is a kind of modern car, that's a 70s Bronco.
Yeah.
But that Cadillac is, and is it a 57 or 58?
55.
Or 55? Yeah, that's when he broke. So yeah, it's a 55. So, I mean, for me, I would take the Cadillac because I love Elvis and I love Cadillacs. I mean, so it's no brainer for me.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cadillac.
Yeah, it looks
I don't
like
think that's
everybody
a fair.
everybody in the comments is going with the Cadillac too, it looks like.
I've got a 63 convertible and I've got a 59 hearse. So Cadillac.
Oh.
And today I was just driving. I have a Cadillac XLR, which is a hardtop convertible. It's actually like a Corvette. Those are pretty cool. But I'm a Cadillac dude. I got a lot of Cadillacs. I got a Eldorado out there. I got listen, I like Cadillacs.
So Elvis kind of runs away with that one.
Yeah, I don't think I seen any votes
Got a
for the new
TCB.
just hunting truck.
TCB.
TCB, baby.
So the king,
The king
his
goes
pink
on.
Cadillac, moves on to the second
This
round.
click on Ronnie's comment about Ace's crash DeLorean.
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh,
We'll
okay,
get
because
there.
I got stories on that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Nice.
That's in the run.
Is that in the running? Okay.
Oh, definitely. This is Friday Night Live, Decibel Geek Podcast.
Yeah, we have to talk about it.
You know it's
okay.
in there.
Bob, you don't know this, but Aaron, tell Bob what your son's name is.
I named my son VideoBob.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
No, I named my son Ace.
wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Or Ace Frehley.
Yeah. How about that?
He was the first kid to know how to spell his name in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Made it easy for him. All right, we move on to the next matchup. This one's pretty cool because, Lemmy, when he came up, he didn't have a lot of money, and playing rock and roll, trying to make his way, he wasn't getting rich. So when he finally had enough money to buy a car, he went with a 52 Chevy Coupe.
Did you send that one?
I don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah.
Why am I
There's
not
one in
seeing
there.
that?
I sent it.
You sure about that? Because I'm
Yeah.
not seeing it in the list of stuff.
I've
I
never
put.
known Lemmy to even have a car. I would have assumed he would have had some sort of a British car.
Why is it not showing up? Hang on. Give me a second.
I don't even know what that car looks like.
It's
Well,
a cool looking car.
I'll tell you in a second because what the fuck? Why is it not showing up? Hang on.
All right.
Uh,
I sent
well,
it in with all the other ones.
Okay.
What-
All right. I'm getting it right now. Hang on. Lemmy's car is this one.
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's badass.
Yeah, that's a badass car. That's what he chose when he finally had enough money to buy something. They said he hadn't touched a steering wheel in 6 years by the time he purchased that thing. Didn't even have a driver's license or nothing. So that car rolls up. It's Lemmy's first car. Versus, now this one's a pretty iconic one. It is where did I write it? There it is. Janis Joplin's Porsche 356, painted up all psychedelic. That was Janis Joplin mobile.
Nice.
So we got Lemmy versus Janis Joplin. You choose the car.
I'm going with the Lemmy Chevy.
Yeah, that's a badass looking car.
Yeah, that's I don't think I've ever even seen one of those.
I never have either. And that's gorgeous.
I'm a big dude. I like big cars. That's American muscle. Fuck that Porsche. That's
a
my
beautiful-
role.
1952. Yeah, everybody likes Lemmy's car.
Yeah, everybody's gonna go with Lemmy.
I've never owned a Porsche except for this Eric Carr Porsche, and I'm not that impressed with it. I gotta be
I was
honest.
gonna say, and like the one that you bought apparently doesn't have a great reputation. Like the
That's like the worst. It's a Volkswagen. It's the worst car ever made.
yeah. Volkswagen turned it down apparently.
It's something
Yeah,
like
that's
that. Like,
that's the one car I missed on here was the Kiss VW Bug. Did not make the cut out of the tournament.
well, yeah. Oh, the Gene Simmons tongue car.
Yeah, that thing's crazy.
Well, I guess like Gene apparently in the 70s claimed that the K car was related to Kiss somehow, but which was bullshit.
No, yeah. He invented everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. including oxygen.
I got
All right.
I got let's all mail Gene $5 for doing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did that to his face. That interview I did at the art gallery. I said this thing. I go, do I got to give you $5 for that? He's like, it's on sale for $2.99 today.
Yeah, that sounds like Gene.
I wish I could do Craig Gass's impression of Gene.
Oh, he's the best.
He's money. All right, so let's move on to the second round. Lemmy moves on, or the third matchup in the first round. This is a cool car, man. I really like this one. I think this one's got a pretty good shot of winning. It's a heavily modified 1966 Pontiac GTO known as the Monkey Mobile.
Oh, it's a gorgeous car.
Look
Okay,
at that.
so that car was built by Dick Dean. The rights were sold to George Barris, who then marketed it. GTO invented by John DeLorean, where they took a Tempest and put a big motor in it. But anyway, that car is retarded. What's the next car?
Not a fan.
I think it's pretty badass myself.
I like it. It's got Barris written all over it, though.
It looks like it's like Beetlejuice or something. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
What's it going against, Aaron?
All right, this one is going against. Now, I couldn't pick out an individual one because I'm sure there's been 1,000 of them over the years. We'll just call it this Harley Davidson, once owned or possibly at least ridden by Rob Halford.
Oh, well, listen. I'm a Rob Halford guy. I'm a Harley guy. It's the Harley for me, and it's black and red, my favorite colors. And like, I'm not gay, but hey, Rob Halford sat on it all. I gotta have it.
It's a sweet motorcycle. I would drive that totally.
Yeah.
I'm not gay, but Rob Halford is Rob Halford. So
Yeah, exactly. Now that's gonna.
It's different.
That looks like a 1200 Sportster, which is really kind of a girl's bike, which is perfect for Rob, and not the same one he rides out on stage. But hey, I'm all over that.
I would probably go just because I'm a giant Judas Priest fan. They're one of my top 5 favorite bands. I'm gonna go with Harley.
You could give me Rob Halford's fucking Schwinn, and I would have took it over that monkey mobile.
I'm not a fan of the Monkeys Mobile, huh?
Oh man, I thought the Monkey Mobile was pretty cool. What are the people saying?
How about the Kiss auction toy Chevy van? I don't know.
I have no idea what that is.
Coin. That's why Paul and Gene gave it to him. Cheapskates. Oh, I was talking about that 924.
Oh yeah, cheapest Porsche they could find.
The Monkey Mobile.
My phone was ringing. Hold on. Oh, it's Eric.
Oh, bring him on. That would be.
Oh,
awesome.
he says he's in the studio.
Oh man.
There's a picture of Tommy Thayer sitting there,
Okay.
waiting for something to happen.
Man, we wanted to know his thoughts on the Monkey Mobile.
We're holding on to 18. See if that gets him to answer.
Okay, let me turn this off before he distracts me.
All right, we're gonna give that one to Rob Halford.
Most people like the Monkey Mobile, but I think majority rules.
I'm a biker. I'm a Harley guy. I have a Harley Davidson. I'm just biker white trash who likes Judas Priest. So,
all right.
What's next?
So we'll have Rob Halford move on. The next matchup, they called it earlier, Ace Frehley's DeLorean.
Yes.
If they were able to somewhere, is that thing out there? I mean,
It's out there. So
yeah,
I'm in the DeLorean world. I've owned over 50 DeLoreans. I have one out in the garage right now, and I got 3 more in Dallas. So here's a couple of funny stories. So me and Vinny had come here to Vegas probably 2006. He was on a VH1 celebrity poker show that was shot at the Flamingo. I think Scott Ian ended up winning. It was like Scott Ian, Sully Erna, Dusty Hill, Ace Frehley, Vinny. I think Jerry Cantrell was in there. And after the end of the thing, we all went to dinner at the Rio, actually, upstairs. And Ace Frehley sat right next to me, right? And Vinny was there, and my friend was there. And so I'm trying to bond with him a little. I go, hey, Ace, we have something in common. I work on DeLoreans. And he's like, yeah, cool. I used to have a DeLorean, I sang about it in my song, Rock Soldiers. And well, you probably know the story about that. And I go, yeah, of course. That's why I brought it up. And he's like, hey, but here's something that a lot of people don't know. I had 2 DeLoreans. I go, really? He goes, well, the first one, I went to this party, and I gave the guy my keys, and I came back out afterwards, and they go, we don't have a valet. Somebody must have stole your car. He goes, yeah, some guy stole my fucking car. I didn't even report it stolen. I just went and bought another one. Fuck it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? He goes, yeah, you might have my old car. What's the VIN number? I was like, that's a funny story. So speaking of the VIN number, my friends at the DeLorean down in Florida, they have a registry of all the VIN numbers. They know what his VIN number was, and they found his car, and it had been painted red. And they bought it from the guy, and they're restoring it, and they have Ace Frehley's DeLorean, and they're gonna, I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I was trying to sell the guy Eric's Porsche, to go with the collection, but they're like, that car's a piece of shit. So, but anyway, that's my Ace Frehley DeLorean story. And so Ace had 2 DeLoreans. So I don't, if Ace can ever figure out what the VIN was of the first one that got stolen, we could probably find it out there. Maybe it exists out there. Who knows? Or maybe it got chopped. But famously, Ace, he got chased by the cops down a one-way street. He was ordered to do public service announcements and restitution by the judges. And then he sang about it in Rock Soldiers, and he sings about the devil riding beside him in DeLorean's automobile. Mm-hmm. And that's the story about him driving that pile of shit down a one-way street. So
the Bronx River Parkway rode the wrong way on it.
Yeah. What's the other car?
I don't know. Somebody actually did track down one of them. Like somebody had spray painted it red, and they actually.
Well, yeah, no, I just said, I was saying that they found the car and it was red, and they unpainted it, so they're restoring it.
Wow. All right, so Ace Frehley had 2 DeLoreans. Keith Moon had a lot of cars, but his very favorite car was a Ferrari Dino 246.
It's called the Dino.
Dino.
I'm sorry.
That is an expensive car.
I'm taking this over a DeLorean any day. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as a guy who's owned over 43 DeLoreans, fuck that car. I'm taking this Ferrari Dino. That car is worth a fortune. That's the car in Ferris Bueller's Day Off that they knocked off the back window.
Oh, yeah.
And that car is so valuable, you can't even get a real one. So I'm taking that.
Wow.
That's a gorgeous car.
It's worth $1 Brazilian. Boy,
if I didn't know all that stuff, I'd go with the DeLorean.
DeLoreans are cool. DeLoreans changed my life. DeLoreans helped buy this $1 million house I'm sitting in right now. But if I had to drive that piece of shit.
Yeah, you make a good point there. Yeah, lots of people going with the Ferrari.
You got to go
as
with
well.
Ferrari on that one. That one might actually win the whole thing. It's so fucking hard to get.
All right, that wraps up side 1. So, when you talk about rock and roll cars, I think few are more least iconic than the 1933 Ford Coupe, the Eliminator, made famous by ZZ Top. You got to have that car in contention.
I'm a Texas boy.
I love that car.
Now, this one might be a little bit morbid because somebody died in it, but also on the list, it's a Tormano? Tomorrow?
Show me a picture of it. I'll tell you what it is.
It's a Pantera.
It's called the De Tomaso Pantera.
De Tomaso Pantera.
The De Tomaso Pantera. It's an Italian car with a Ford motor in it, and that is the car on a poster that was in Vinny's room, and he looked up at it and said Pantera.
No kidding.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know
Maybe not that actual picture, but he named the band after that car.
That's cool.
And that is a seriously badass car. However, I can't fit in either one of them, but if I had to choose one, it'd be the Pantera. It's got a Ford V8 rear-mounted engine. It's an Italian-made car. The De Tomaso Pantera, fucking badass. The Eliminator is super cool. I think it's a 32 split-window coupe or 34. What is it? What did you say it was?
33.
Oh, a 33. Okay.
Yeah, 33.
The thing about that car is like, if you're 5'2", like you could get in that car. But it's like, I don't know if you've ever been in one of those. You can't see out of it. It's like, so if you had to drive it, I'm going with the Pantera.
Yeah.
But even my big fat ass can't fit in a Pantera. Like the pedal box is like this. I'd have to take off my shoes to drive it. So neither one of those cars is easy to drive. But I'd have to go with the Pantera.
And
I'm
Pantera is a badass car. They're both cool.
A lot of people
cars.
are going for the Eliminator though.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
pretty
just
iconic.
I'd go
Probably a
with
kit car.
I'd go with the coupe. That car's always been really cool with me.
Yeah, I think I got to go with ZZ Top Mobile, the Eliminator. Also, that Pantera is cool.
Listen,
as
it
hell.
doesn't suck. I mean, it's awesome. It's iconic as ever. I mean, it's
Great car.
so
Yeah, I'm
toss
gonna go,
up for me.
I'm going with the coupe.
All right. Looks like most of the people also agree with that. Down there, I see. I'll go with the Pantera. George Lynch got one.
It's not a very famous car unless you're a car guy.
Yeah.
What's a Fougar? I don't know Fougar. What's Fougar?
He's Shane Paisley. Him and his wife watch every week, and he's affectionately known every week as the Mooger Fougar.
Okay.
He's every week listener of ours.
Yeah, that's
Alrighty.
his name. The Mooger Fougar,
Mooger
and then
Fougar.
Mrs. Fougar.
And Mrs. Fougar, of course.
And the little baby Fougs on the way.
I don't know if they have any children, but yeah, get on it, Shane. Make it
Yeah.
happen tonight.
What are you doing watching this show? You guys should be getting busy.
Make some baby Fougars.
All right. So then ZZ Top moves on. Up next, we're going to pretend that this one could be put back together. I think I read that they're searching for this one. Somebody really wants to find it. It's a 1984 Corvette C4, made famous as taking the arm of Def Leppard drummer Rick
Is that what he
Allen.
was? I thought he had a Ferrari when he did that.
No,
it was this
it
piece
was
of
an
shit.
Avette.
I've had one of these. Worst car ever made. They skipped
Really?
the 80. Yeah, they skipped the 83 production year because the car was so bad. So there's no such thing as an 83 Corvette. 84 C4. I had one. This is also the car that was on the A-Team because mine was the A-Team car, which was the white car with the red stripe with the red
right.
interior. Had a Crossfire 305 injection motor with what they called a 4+1 transmission, where it's an automatic, but you could it had an overdrive. But there's a lot of love for this car now. But if you ask a Corvette guy, they'll tell you that this car sucked. But I could tell you that it is a reliable car. So it depends on what you put it up against. So let me
Right.
see what it's up
Okay.
against.
What's it
So
going
it's
against?
going up against a classic, Freddie Mercury's car, a 1950 Studebaker Champion.
Ooh.
That's a gorgeous car.
I'd have to go with the C4 Corvette if it's a car that I got to drive, because the Corvette's got it's got air conditioning, cruise, had a digital dash. You can get parts for it. It's lightweight, it's sporty. It's not that fast, but if I had to drive it, that Studebaker is a cool little car. It looks cool, but let's face it. I mean, that looks like you're on the way down to the bathhouse. I mean, you're looking for a truck stop bathroom in that car. You're just
Oh man.
that-
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's very fun to drive either.
it's actually a really beautiful car. That's a really cool
Looking
car.
It's cool looking. It's almost got some old time airplane kind of feature to it.
No, that's what that
That's what they're
whole
going.
era was about. But if
Yeah.
you're going with the criteria of you have to own it, keep it, and drive it, the C4. I mean, it's a car that you could put 200,000 miles on that car.
Yeah.
But it's just compared to the C5 and 6 and other Corvettes, it was a shit car. All
right.
They weren't that. It's a fiberglass rattle trap. But between the two, that's the car.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with that too. I think I would much rather be driving that Corvette.
I wouldn't want to lose an arm, but I would prefer the Corvette.
Yeah.
And I
That
do
guy
prefer the 10-arm version of Def Leppard to the 9-arm version.
Yeah, definitely.
We had a
All
DJ
right.
in Dallas that every day used to do a thing called One Arm or Two, and he'd play a Def Leppard song, and you had to say whether or not it was a one arm or two. I was like, oh, too soon.
Damn.
Wow.
It's always too soon on that joke.
Yeah. All right. So Rick Allen's Corvette moves on.
Good job, Rick.
In the next matchup, These are
Yeah,
two
who's
very.
who's moderating? You got this the
got some
person with the
spam.
colorful emojis. Do you need to
I'm-
block them?
Yeah, I'm not showing it on. Let me block the users. I got
There you
we've
go.
made it. We've got spammers.
Hmm.
Yeah, you've got bots coming in.
Yeah, I
You
blocked.
know your special win. You
I
get
blocked
bots in
Nick.
the chat
This is-
line.
Yeah,
supposed to be a
naked
bot-free
HD,
zone.
Online strips without clothing. I blocked them.
No bots allowed.
Yeah, no bots. Only if you have one arm.
All right, so next we got a battle of two very, very different vehicles. Up first, we got Rob Zombie's Dragula. Look at that thing. Even those little kids are all crunched up.
Now, what is this thing? That's
That's another.
is this from a new? Well, the original Dragula was not this. So
No?
I don't know what this is that you're showing me. Dragula was made out of a coffin for the Munsters. Now I don't know if Rob Zombie replicated that or if this is his version of it.
Yeah, I think this
I've
was-
never seen this car before.
Okay, so I don't know for sure 100% if this is the Dragula because I see it's got the little coffin thing on it, and it looked
Well,
like the one from the video.
That's not it.
No.
Well, I don't know what that thing is. I mean, that might be Rob Zombie's thing. Dragula was a gold coffin that George Barris made for the for the Munsters. This is
Munsters.
clearly a Model T bucket
Okay, so
that's
that
been
must be
stretched,
some kind of knockoff.
No
then.
idea.
but that's not what it
sure.
looks like.
All right, going up against. If you know what Rob Zombie's car looks like, put it in your imagination
Yeah,
and
no, I
imagine that it's going up against the car
Dude, that
And
bot
Mark-
came right back.
that Mark Bolan died in. It's a Mini 1275 G7, I think is what it's called. It's a weird little car, but that's the one that Mark Bolan crashed and was
Wow.
killed in.
That's
Well,
a
based
sad-
on the two photos you showed, I'm going with the Mini.
Really, I think I would go with the Rob Zombie car.
Yeah,
first.
I'm going with the Dragula.
I would go with this.
Well, because in reality, that's a Model T that goes like 24 miles an hour or whatever, and like that Mini is like a real car. But
You'd pick that.
yeah, oh, you get tons of pussy in that.
Oh man, yeah, I see the chat is totally taken over by spammers.
Oh, you got
that-
spammers
I
in there.
keep blocking them. They keep coming back.
That's
Assholes.
crazy.
All right, and then the final matchup in the
All right.
first round
What's the last matchup?
First
Last
round. How long does this
matchup.
go?
is Brian Johnson's prize 1965 Lola T70
Nice.
going up against Eddie Van Halen's Lamborghini. Look at that thing.
That's the car that you hear revving up in Panama.
Yep.
Is it really?
Yep, and that's the Lamborghini Miura, one of the most beautiful cars ever made. I'm taking that.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
awesome.
When you hear the song Panama is about that car, reach down between my legs and
legs.
ease the seat
Seat
back.
back.
Shit's running. That's the song. That's the car. And sold.
Yeah, I got to go with the Lamborghini too. It's
I'll
badass.
take two.
That's gonna be hard to beat.
I don't even. I've already forgotten what the first car was. It was Brian Johnson's thing with no windshield.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that thing. I'm taking the Lamborghini. Brian Johnson would tell you, I'm taking that. Come on.
Yeah, that's a pretty badass car.
Yeah, real badass. All right, so that wraps up the first round. Looks like it's pretty unanimous over on the side in the comments. Everybody loves that Lamborghini. So that brings us up to the second round, puts the pink Cadillac versus Lemmy's first major purchase. That beautiful Chevy Coupe.
What's
All
the
right.
Cadillac?
That's the
Cut
pink
it out.
Cadillac
Pink Cadillac
versus
versus
this.
the Chevy Coupe. I'm going with the Lemmy.
How many
Mobile.
songs have you? How many Chevy Coupe songs have you heard? But
Not
I
a-
remember
Cadillac
buying Quiet Riot's Mental Health in '83 and hearing "Slick Black Cadillac."
Yeah, I'd go with the Cadillac, I guess.
All
For
right.
sure.
Well, I get outvoted on this one.
You're going. Oh, you would have gone with Lemmy.
Let me tell you who else loves Cadillacs right here. Look at this. Look at this picture. This is, see if it'll focus. This is me and Brian Johnson driving my 1960 Cadillac.
Nice.
He was driving.
Nice.
You can watch that on YouTube. I did a parody song of Shook Me All Night Long that we sang together. It was pretty funny.
Right
You can
on.
see that on Cars That Rock season 3.
Well, the majority of the viewers are going for the. Well, Fugger went for Elvis.
Oh, okay. So did Elvis win? Or how are you even rated? How are you even judging this? Like you just
I
count?
don't know.
We're just kind of winging it.
We're just
Making the
killing
shit up.
Yeah,
There's no
more or
prizes.
less.
No, there's no prize.
I would like my year supply of rice-a-roni, please.
It's the Miami treat.
Well, Bob and Chris outvoted us, so I guess Elvis moves on.
Elvis moves on.
All right. That brings us up to Rob Halford's Harley Davidson versus Keith Moon's Ferrari.
Ooh.
I think I got to go with the Ferrari on this one. That
Yeah,
car
I'm going with the Ferrari. I don't know if that Ferrari's going to get beat in this whole thing. That's a pretty amazing car.
Oh. I think I'd have to take the Harley. If I can't,
Really?
if it's not about value, I'm going with the Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Well, you got outvoted, so
Yeah.
we're going with the.
Well, I don't care.
Okay.
I've had Ferraris and they suck, but Harleys are awesome.
And the listeners are going for the Ferrari.
Yeah. All right.
Like if you had to actually drive it and
You'd
use
be
it,
sorry.
I'm keeping the Harley.
Okay.
So you got just about the same amount of trunk space.
Oh, Mrs.
Well-
Fugger wants your couch.
You could. Rob Halford has plenty of trunk space, so I've heard. You can fit a lot in his trunk.
Wait, you're saying Rob Halford has a lot of junk in the trunk?
I'm just saying he could fit a lot of junk in his trunk.
I brought the laugh track for that one. All right.
All right. All right. So then that
Ram
brings
it
us
down.
up to Eliminator versus the Arm Killer.
Say what?
Oh, okay.
The
Oh, wait.
Corvette versus the Eliminator.
All right, give me a second to do this.
I'm gonna take the Corvette.
Which Corvette? Who?
Rick
what
Allen.
Little red Corvette.
So Rick Allen versus who?
ZZ Top.
Ooh,
Hit
I'm
me
gonna
like
take
a bomb, baby. Come on, get it on.
taking the ZZ Top.
Living like a lover with a red iPhone.
What are y'all taking?
Taking the Corvette.
Man,
I want to see what the people are saying.
Because if you had to actually drive that car,
Yeah,
Right.
kind of like Michael Wagner's truck. It's super cool looking. It's probably fun to take out once in a while, but do you want to drive it all the time?
I mean,
It's
like
kind of like that older
that
style
Corvette
vehicle.
being an '84 Corvette, you can still run down to a crappy bar and walk out of there with a 45-year-old blonde with big titties, fake titties. But that Eliminator is only going to get 60-year-old guys walking around it at Cars and Coffee. So
very
I'm taking the
specific,
Corvette.
Bob. Okay. Well, so all right, Aaron, you're the tiebreaker. What are you taking?
Oh man, I really like that vet.
Kind of split on the audience vote.
Yeah, it looks like a little half on the audience vote.
That ZZ Top car is one of the coolest cars ever.
It really is.
Yeah,
Is-
till you
that
try to
car
squeeze
is-
in that sumbitch. And
I'm not
and-
thinking about trying to squeeze into it.
Yeah, but this is the criteria. If I had to drive that thing, I've been in one of those, and you can't, if
Yeah,
you
but I'm
had-
drunk on a live stream. I don't care about driving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or getting put in a glass case. Charge people to look at it.
well, there's that.
I got to go with the ZZ Top Mobile. It's just too iconic.
So ZZ Top moves on.
Yeah.
Let's call Rob Halford and ask him.
He chooses the Eliminator, according to Al B. Snug and the Jitterbugs.
All right. So
Oh,
then
good.
the final matchup in the second round
All right.
is the
many rounds
Zombie
are we
Mobile
All right.
versus Eddie Van Halen's Lamborghini. I think this one's a slam dunk.
Oh, come on.
The Lamborghini all
Lamborghini.
day.
How are you going to beat that?
I think I know what it's going to come down to.
Eddie Van Halen wins easily. Eliminator trumps all for me. I'm not
Yeah, it's
hot
the
rod
Lamborghini. It's
Yeah,
All right.
that's an easy vote.
Here we are, down to the semifinals.
All right.
Only 4 vehicles remain in this battle royal of doom.
All right.
Got Elvis's pink Cadillac versus Keith Moon's Ferrari.
Ooh, that's a tough matchup. Bob, what do you think?
don't ask me these stupid questions. I'm taking the Cadillac.
You're taking the Cadillac. You're taking Okay. Wow.
course.
I'm going with the Ferrari.
Oh man, I get to be the tiebreaker. That's not cool.
You crawl in the back seat of that thing with 2 hot chicks.
I don't know, man. I think bragging rights. I'd probably get more attention with that Cadillac, so I'm gonna go with the Cadillac.
That Cadillac is pure love right there.
And I actually saw that when I toured Graceland when I was 6 years old. So I'm gonna go with the Cadillac.
Wow.
Yeah. And I remember loving it then, so I'll stick with it now.
Looks like almost everybody is going for the Cadillac in the
What do the Nelson brothers
section
drive?
as well.
I don't know. Do they
All
drive
right.
a Prius?
They drive a Kia Soul.
The King's Caddy, the Fugars are all shook up. Elvis, Caddy, the Caddy's running away with it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So who faces Elvis's pink Cadillac in the finals? It's either going to be ZZ Top's Eliminator Mobile versus Eddie Van Halen's Lamborghini.
Ooh.
Well, between those two, the Lamborghini is better than. What are we choosing between?
Between the ZZ Top and the Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, where we're going with the Lamborghini. Lamborghini Miria, most beautiful Lamborghini ever made.
I guess I'd go with the Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that car. Even now, like in Nashville, I see like new Lamborghinis running around, but you don't never really see.
Well, you will
these
never see
classic
one of
style
those.
ones.
No, you're never going to see one of those going down the road. You might see one at a car show or in a museum, but that car,
I've never seen.
you know, like
one.
Jay Leno has one, but you're not going to see one of those running down the. I've never seen one out in the wild. Never.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those.
That I can remember. I mean, I might have seen one in a museum, like at the Peterson or something, but I've never seen one going down the road.
No.
That was a rare car.
Yeah, I'll go with Lamborghini.
So you can go ahead and skip this next 5 minutes. You get between that and the Cadillac, Elvis wins every time.
Wow.
Is that what we're down to? We're down to Elvis and Eddie Van Halen.
You could
I'm
ask Eddie
going
Van
with- I'm
Halen,
going
and
with
he
the-
would tell you the Cadillac.
I'm going with the Lamborghini. It's just too damn cool.
Damn, this is fucking hard, man. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Damn.
This
If the
is it.
criteria is a car
Fine.
that you have to actually drive, after 5 minutes in that Lamborghini, you'd be begging to get out of it. But that Cadillac, he used to drive that thing across country with the whole band in it.
Yeah.
You know, that thing rides on air.
Hey, look, special effects.
Look at you.
I go with Elvis's car. I just think
That's
it's just
that's
so
not my favorite
unique.
Cadillac either, but it's a better.
Oh, but it's cool as fuck.
But if you have had to drive it, I mean, that Lamborghini's pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty cool. But as a car ownership perspective, and said, well, you have to drive this every day. Those Lamborghinis catch on fire. They have a lot of problems. But that Cadillac, you could drive it if it was in decent condition.
I just think the cars from the 50s have so much more character to them. You know, there's just something about them that takes your breath away when you see them.
But I mean, if somebody said to me, you can have one of Elvis's cars or one of Van Halen's cars, I'm going to take Elvis's car. No disrespect to Van Halen.
10 million fans can't be wrong. I'm gonna go. I'll agree with the Fugars. I'll say Elvis's car. Elvis's car wins.
It's not how I thought this was going to end up, but interestingly enough, the champion tonight on Decibel Geek Friday Night Live Bracket Brawl for the best car, who's got the best wheels, it's Elvis.
It's not the best car, but I think Elvis, compared to the criteria you gave and how undrivable a lot of these other sports cars are.
Yeah. I don't know. That monkey mobile looked pretty spacious.
Oh, I don't know. You can drive that. You can drive that DeLorean the wrong way on the Bronx River Parkway pretty well.
You get tired of driving, you just have the devil take over for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
on the passenger side of DeLorean's automobile. Yeah. Hey, Friendly.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Oh man. Well, yeah, well, I never thought we would do a comparison on cars for a Friday Night Live, but VideoBob has been the perfect guest to do that.
You know, I thought you were going to put Eric Carr's Porsche up against something, but that car
we should have included them on that.
Yeah, well, I figured we'd be talking about it, so we didn't want to jinx it or swerve it by putting that car in because that one's special. Because you guys are going to.
The thing about that particular car is what made it special or not special was Porsche had always made rear engine air cooled cars. This is a car that Volkswagen hired Porsche to design for them, and then after they did it, they didn't really like it, and they were like, well, we changed our mind, we don't want it. So Porsche bought it back from Volkswagen and built it themselves. So they put it out. It's a front engine water cooled car, and all the Porsche enthusiasts thought it was heresy to put out a front engine car that's water cooled. Goes against everything that they believed in with these cars. And so it wasn't well received, but because it was so cheap, it allowed people to get into Porsches for a lot less money. Let's not forget, you're talking about a $20,000 car in 1980 when you could buy a Corvette for $12,000. So we make fun of Gene and Paul for buying the cheapest Porsche, but let's face it, they could have gave him a Corvette just as easy and he'd been happy. He was driving some beat up Duster or something. He had a job like repairing ovens with his dad.
That's true.
So he goes from being in a lower middle class guy with a beat up car doing greasy labor work to being in Kiss with a brand new Porsche.
Heck yeah.
And Bruce Kulick's like, I didn't get a fucking Porsche. They give me anything.
He's like, I got a Hyundai. What the fuck?
Yeah, he didn't get anything. So, we make fun of him about it, but like I think that they did it not only as a kind gesture, but also they're like, this guy didn't even have a ride to rehearsal, so like, let's give him a car for Christmas. And plus he was just a lovable guy. Everybody loved him. And it doesn't always go that way, the people that deserve to fucking die of cancer somehow keep living.
Yeah.
Like Vinny and Dime are gone, but fucking Phil's still running around seaguiling at parties. Jesus Christ.
Now, the whole the karma thing is a little weird sometimes, a little off kilter.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't wish any ill on Phil, but if I had to choose the two assholes in Pantera to die, the two junkies, I would have figured they'd be dead by now, and I'd have my friend here with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
I know that's mean to say, but
but anytime like the whole like Pantera should reunite thing comes up, I'm like,
oh goddamn,
the two main ingredients are gone now, so like why bother?
Yeah, it
no
can't be.
Well, I mean, I spent every day with Vinny, and people would come up to him and go, "Hey man, like when is Pantera gonna get together?" He's like, "Hey man, when are you gonna call up your ex-wife and get back with her? That'd be great too. Why don't you do that?"
Right? Yeah.
It's like, how about not? It's just not
there's
gonna
human
happen.
relationships there, and people need to understand that. But
and people, Gene and Paul have to put up with this shit every day. Hey, when are you going to get Peter and Ace back? Well, Ace is at least touring and can play a guitar.
Sure.
But Peter can hardly hold a pair of sticks.
Well, I mean, I think they've all worked out the way they wanted to, and Ace is doing his thing, and Peter's happy being retired, and Gene and Paul are doing their thing. Like it's like everybody should just be happy they're all still
like
alive.
I said, it's all coming to an end here in a minute. So
sure,
they're doing this South American tour, then they're going to Europe, and then they got a couple of dates here. And what I'm hoping happens, and Eric doesn't know. He says he doesn't know, but I'm hoping that they're going to do a Vegas residency and just settle here. And that's what everybody thought was going to happen when Gene moved here, because you had 3 of them here. And really, it's a 30-minute flight on a little jet for Paul to come here. And I was like, dude, if you guys just played 1 or 2 nights a week and did a residency here, people would be more than happy
Well, and
with that.
I heard that Paul had bought like a penthouse at one of the casinos there in town. So
I don't
I wouldn't
don't
be
think
shocked.
that's true.
Well, I don't know, but like I wouldn't be shocked if that's what it comes down to. But either way, I mean, no matter what Kiss does in the future, I'll always be a Kiss fan. So I mean, like that's just the way it is. But no, I mean, like it was cool to have you on tonight, and I hope you had fun. And
It's always fun.
follow VideoBob on YouTube and check out the Eric Carr restoration project.
Yeah.
It's been really cool to watch because as Kiss nerds, this is the type of stuff we just eat up. We love it.
I just shot a video today of going through his glove compartment and looking at all his road maps, which sounds pretty stupid. But what was interesting about it was he loved to go to national attractions. So he liked to go to the zoo. He liked to go to national parks, and he had all these maps and stuff. And this was, like the newest thing in there was from 1991, the year he died. So he was using the car to go on trips. And I just thought it was kind of interesting. Like he liked to, him and the chick go out to a park or go to the zoo or, fun things like that. And, Kiss has always been kind of clean living, with the exception of, they might have had some controversy over maybe financial things, but that's one of the things. Like me and Eric and Brent Fitz and these other guys that we're squares. We don't drink, we don't do drugs, and it's like we're not into that scene. And Gene and Paul aren't either. Like Paul likes a glass of wine and some pasta. Sure. Gene's never touched alcohol in his life, which I think it's funny that they're selling cold gin and shit. But
hey, money is money.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, one thing you could say about Kiss is, look at the controversies you've seen, like for instance with Judas Priest, with their former drummer who was accused of child molestation, there's never been any kind of real controversy. Well, I guess I take that back. Yeah, Gene was accused of some inappropriate things with women, which he was found not guilty of or acquitted of, and it's one of these things like okay, the guy that goes around saying that he's had sex with 5,000 women and has a tongue down to his chin, you're going to go around and say that he was inappropriate with you, like you didn't know what was going on.
That's kind of his thing.
I worked with rock bands, and it's really true. Like strippers show up at the show looking for the guys with the laminates, and they're like, how do we get backstage? Well, I have an idea. So, I mean, it's like, that's what it is, like girls to sit there and say Ron Jeremy raped him. Pfft, give me a break. If you've ever been to the Rainbow, this guy's walking around in Crocs and sweatpants, panhandling for White Russians. Anybody in LA knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it's these chicks would go up to him and they just, take it out. I want to see it.
Well, he was a fixture there, right? I mean,
he was there all the time. So was Lemmy. I'd go in there, and Lemmy's over there playing video poker, smoking. Ron Jeremy's shuffling around. I mean, and I got some great stories hanging out there. That's always fun. If you're in LA, you got to go by the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and they have a great statue of Lemmy there now, an effigy. But the closest thing that we have to that now is here in Las Vegas. LA is dead. It's just homeless people and heroin needles now. Oh. And, here, that's why a lot of these rock stars have moved here. And I'm hoping to get a little bit more of a rock scene. All the masks are gone. All the rules are gone. It's all out the window. It's 100% back to normal. If you've ever been wondering what's going on, come to Vegas. There's no restrictions. There's no mask. Do whatever the fuck you want. 24-hour liquors, weeds, whores, whatever. It's back to shenanigans. And it's Friday night, coming up on 7 o'clock. I need to get the hell out of here, pop the top on my Cadillac convertible, and go have some fun and see what kind of trouble I can get into. So it's Las Vegas on a Friday night, baby. Woo!
Wow,
awesome.
Nice.
So where can people find VideoBob Moseley in the future? What's the plug?
All you got to do is Google my name. I'm on everything. Here we go. There it is. VideoBob. You got my name. Boom.
There you go.
And Google VideoBob. There's the logo. And just, my YouTube, Facebook, I don't really get on Instagram and Twitter, really. I have them, but I'm not on there. So I'm on the Facebook. You can follow VideoBob Moseley, but mostly my YouTube channel. Sift through there. Maybe go onto the channel and then go into the search section and put in KISS or whatever if you're looking for KISS stuff. I've done some fun interviews with Gene, live concert footage, reviews of things like the Vault and stuff. There's, if you're into the cars, there's plenty of the car stuff. If you're interested in what we're doing with the Eric Carr Porsche, it is going to go up for sale this summer. We're going to get it running. It's just kind of fun to, it's more of a car guy kind of a thing because there's really nothing like KISS about it. It was just his car.
Right.
For people that are into cars and just think it's kind of fascinating, maybe you've gone to the KISS Mini Golf and seen it. But hey, man, come to Vegas, check out the KISS Mini Golf at the Rio. It's a must-do thing. And it's not uncommon to find us and KISS members hanging out down at Vamped, which is Danny Coker's place from the show Counting Cars. And, it's not uncommon to see like me and Eric and Bruce Kulick and whoever else just hanging down there or doing a show. So come on down.
Nice, man. You are like the best ambassador for Vegas I've ever heard.
I love it. It's great.
The city government ought to have you on payroll.
They should. This place is, people ask me all the time, like, why'd you move to Vegas? I go, dude, it's the most visited place in the world. Like, it's not about like, why would you? It's like, how did you afford to do it? And I sold a lot of stupid cars. And that's, I got in here just right before everything exploded. This house doubled in value in like 2 years, in a year and a half. And nice. It's impossible to buy a house out here now. But it's just, every time I would come here, Vinny moved out here years ago. He died here. And it was just one of these things, like we would spend so much time here because it's just so fun. Like, it's just so fun. The lights, the weather outside is just so perfect right now. And it does get hot in July and August. I'm not going to lie, it gets hot. But it's nicer here more than it's not. The people are friendly. It's hospitality driven. Like I said, I don't really drink that much or smoke, but I just think it's cool that you go to Walgreens and buy weed. I mean, it's just awesome that you could go to Walmart and buy a bottle of Crown at 2 a.m. It's just, there's an energy, when people get off the plane, they're excited. There's like, you go to 7-Eleven to get something and there's people playing slot machines. It's like, this whole town is just fun. And the great thing about that is like rock and roll is fun. And so like you'll walk into a place and they're playing Van Halen and AC/DC and good music. It's a rock and roll town. It's there. Every rock and roll band has mentioned Vegas, be it whether it's AC/DC, Van Halen, whoever, like because of what it is. And every time I would come here, I just absorbed that energy, and it's positive. Probably not as positive for people that don't have any money to buy anything or who have lost all their shit playing stocks or slots and shit. But I don't. The thing is, I don't gamble. I haven't gambled one time since I've been here, which is crazy. The people who have a problem with addiction, who have a problem with alcohol, drugs, smoking, gambling, you might not want to come here.
Don't come here.
Bad idea.
But dude, some of the greatest restaurants in the world. I mean, there's like 5 Gordon Ramsay restaurants that are here. There's every major. There's so much amazing food here, and the crazy thing is, I have lost a ton of weight. I've lost 20 or 30 pounds since I moved here eating, but it's because I eat at restaurants that serve real food. I no longer eat fast food. When I lived in Texas, I used to eat like fast food all the time. And now I'm like, I don't want to waste one of my meals on going to like McDonald's or something like that. I go to like a deli or I eat real food, and you'll be surprised how much weight you lose when you just eat actual food. Right. That's not fast food.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of I'm down to like 218. I used to weigh 240, something like that, 240. And I eat more crap. I'm eating sundaes and like I'm eating ice cream and pizza, but I'm eating real food, and it's like some of the greatest restaurants in the world are here. So I cannot get over the food here. It's just I don't know. I can't. Like you're right. I'm the greatest ambassador of this place. I love it, love it, love it. I'm never leaving. I wish I'd have moved here years ago, and Maybe I should shut up. I don't want a bunch of people here. The traffic's getting
Right.
bad. No, it's terrible. Don't come.
Yeah.
Stay in Boise,
You'll
Idaho.
turn
Stay.
You'll turn into Nashville if you
Right.
keep
That's what we say about Nashville, but everybody keeps coming from California.
Yeah,
Well,
no
so
kidding.
many people moved from California to Dallas. I had to leave. They California'd my Texas.
Yeah, that's right.
They get all ups, They're like, "Oh my God, you actually carry guns here?" I'm like, "Yes, it's Texas." Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. It's been fun. Video Bob, thank you so much. We're excited to see more progress on the Eric Carr Porsche coming up in the future.
Yeah.
And
I wonder
check
how
out
many
the-
times Gary Corbett rode in that thing.
yeah, probably a few, I'm sure.
I bet.
Yeah. Very
Who
cool.
knows who may have farted in that seat?
Yeah, that's right. Plenty of people, I'm sure. But yeah, we had a new noise episode this week. Check that out if you haven't yet, and got new stuff coming up for you in the future.
Who is this Shane? Everybody wants my couch. You can't have my couch.
It's a cool couch.
I had that imported from Indonesia.
Wow.
It's not for sale.
Wants it. The Mooger Fooger wants the couch.
Couch is not for sale.
Very cool.
All right, Aaron, take us out.
All right. Well, everybody, we had fun tonight. This was awesome. Video Bob, very cool, man. We got to stay in touch with you. Chris, we'll be back for a new episode next week. Friday Night Live is always a good time. We thank everybody that joins us. We'll keep on rocking. You keep on rocking with us, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.